Their gambling centers were purportedly operated for charitable purposes, but our investigation suggests that the premise of charity is a lie to our citizens and a lie to our veterans.
It's Florida Department of Law Enforcement Commissioner Gerald Bailey responding today, talking about a nationwide internet cafe bust and the link to the sudden resignation of Florida Lieutenant Governor Jennifer Carroll. Good evening. I'm Greg Angel. Thank you for watching WTXL ABC 27 News at 5. Florida's Lieutenant Governor has resigned allegedly because of her ties to an internet cafe company that is now under federal investigation. Carroll once did public relations for the purported veterans charity Allied Veterans of the World. She was questioned in the investigation but has not been charged with any wrongdoing. Jennifer Carroll's departure comes one day after she gave a resignation letter to Governor Rick Scott, and this is that resignation letter. You see, it's very brief. It just read, quote, "Effective immediately, I hereby resign the office of Lieutenant Governor of the state of Florida. It has been an honor to have served the state of Florida in this capacity." So certainly a lot to get to today. We continue our top story live from the Florida Capitol. WTXL ABC 27's Mika Highsmith live for us tonight. And Mika, what really led to this surprising resignation here?
Well, Greg, this is all stemming from her involvement with an internet gambling scam. It's been a 3-year nationwide investigation now playing out here in Leon County. This is video from earlier today. Our crew were on the scene as federal agents raided the Allied Veterans Cafe on South Monroe Street. You can see investigators are coming out with computers, records, and sample slot machines. This is all happening after the owner of the nonprofit internet company was arrested for an illegal gambling operation, also for funneling about $64 million into about 292 bank accounts. That money was supposed to benefit a nonprofit veterans group. Instead, federal agents say the money was used for lavish spending, buying properties and high-end vehicles. They say this operation has been going on in about 40 other cafes across the state and violates Florida's gambling laws.
You really can't distinguish between a slot machine in Las Vegas and a slot machine in the Allied Veterans gambling centers. The only difference you see is instead of hitting the play button in Las Vegas, you hit the reveal button in Allied Veterans. This is one of the reasons why the operation is called Reveal a Deal. The other reason is because we have exposed or revealed a group that has deceived the public, deceived veterans.
Now, 4 of the facilities in question are in our area. At this time, Jennifer Carroll's ties to the company are still unclear. We did, however, find this YouTube video of her fronting a public service announcement for the business back in 2010. We also know that Carroll's ties to the company were questioned when she proposed a bill that would benefit internet cafes while serving as a state lawmaker. Of course, all of this a major blow to the current legislation. Governor Rick Scott, lawmakers now responding to Lieutenant Jennifer Carroll's resignation. And Brittany, you say a lot of them say this is a sad day.
Yes, Mika, definitely a tough day for lawmakers here at the Capitol. Governor Scott says Jennifer Carroll did the right thing by stepping down for both the state and for her family. Now, Governor Scott told a crowd of reporters this afternoon that Governor Jennifer Carroll resigned yesterday. The governor says Carroll vacated her position after she was questioned by law enforcement about her involvement in a large-scale investigation on internet cafes. He says Carroll represented a company called Allied Veterans of the World back in 2009 and 2010 when she served in the Florida House. Now, listen to the governor's response.
I appreciate the efforts she made on behalf of the great state of Florida. She was tireless. She put a lot of effort into military and to getting jobs going, and I'm very grateful for her service.
The governor says he wants all money collected from this investigation to go to charitable companies. So what happens next? By law, the state must have a lieutenant governor in place, but the governor said that they will not be tackling this issue until after the legislative session, ends in May. But he did say there are a number of people who have expressed interest in the position. Right now, I'm live at the Capitol. Brittany Jones, WTXL, ABC 27, dedicated to you, and it's back to Mika.
All right, Brittany, thank you very much. Of course, the shocking resignation came at a very difficult time, legislative session. And so, like Brittany said, it's going to be a long process ahead. In the meantime, let's head back to you in the studio, Greg.
All right, Mika, thank you. And again, that's really the big question here. What exactly was the role of Lieutenant Governor Jennifer Carroll with this organization, at least to the existing day, at least with this criminal investigation? We know, as we mentioned a couple moments ago, at least one of the local facilities was raided today by federal agents. There were at least 54 search warrants that had been issued, also 57 arrest warrants that have been issued. Investigators saying they're still waiting for 7 more arrests to actually take place. But a lot of charges, you see them right here, those being arrested, this is what they're facing. Talking about 57 counts of racketeer and influence corruption, or RICO as it's called. Those arrested also facing 57 counts of RICO conspiracy, 614 counts of gaming violations, 614 counts of running a gambling house, and 1,265 counts of money laundering. Again, FDLE Commissioner Gerald Bailey says the group not only pocketed millions of dollars, but spent a huge sum of money, he said, donating to political parties, donating to lobbyist groups. Carroll reportedly had connections to this group during her time working in the Florida legislature, not only working with the PR firm when she ran that operation there, working for this group. Here's a little bit more background on Jennifer Carroll. She served in the United States Navy for about 20 years. She enlisted in 1979, retired in 1999 as a lieutenant commander. She served on a number of commissions in that time. She was the executive director of the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs. She was appointed to that back in 2000 by Governor Jeb Bush. In 2003, she was elected to the Florida House of Representatives. That is when she became the first African-American female Republican ever elected to the Florida legislature, and she served in 2010. She was tapped to become Rick Scott's running mate as lieutenant governor. She served